this is Shad Harris, and today is another edition of Interviews with a Rebel. And today I am sitting down with entrepreneur, hairstylist. But I feel like hairstylist doesn't do you the credit that you deserve.
Okay.
What's another adjective I want to say? Lock technician.
Okay.
Master of locks.
Okay.
That's all I got. Yeah.
Okay.
Nicole J, Nikki J. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Good.
So, for the people that don't know you, how would you describe yourself and what do you do?
I would describe myself as the most laid-back teacher you'd ever...
Laid-back teacher?
Yes, the most laid-back teacher you'd ever come across, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're super smart homegirl.
Okay.
Can spit game, but like, we can chill on the weekends.
Yeah. Okay.
And what I do that in the capacity of teaching locks to stylists and to my clients.
Mm-hmm.
And so it essentially is to the consumers as well, in a way that they can understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the hair world is so intricate.
Mm-hmm.
It can be intricate.
Yeah.
But I like to break things down to the very last compound. So
Right. Are you big into
simple.
science?
I'm super.
I just found that out like last week. Yeah.
I'm a science geek. So, in science, you can have 16 syllable words that really just mean something that...
Super basic.
Right.
Yeah.
Real basic. So I like to take those big catastrophic things and break them down in small molecules and give it to the peers.
Okay, I feel like you're going to hit me with a lot of TI words doing this. I'm ready for it.
No,
I'm ready for it.
Okay, you're ready for it? I don't know that I'm ready for it.
Okay. So I like to tell people like how I come across them, right?
Okay.
This one's pretty simple. I mean, I came across you because my wife was talking about you. And she said like, yeah, I'm about to sit down with this girl, Nikki. She does locks and like everybody talks about it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's dope. And then you came to the house and y'all was having the conversation. Actually, we did the video first.
Right.
Video you did my wife. Shout out to Elle.
Definitely shout out to Elle.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Yeah, go.
And y'all was talking. I feel like we recorded the video and then you're still there for like another like hour or two, and y'all were just like talking.
Right.
So I feel like in my office in my house is like I can hear everything. Right. So I was just like, yo, what are they talking about? And like, and then it was like all over the place. Like y'all went deep. Y'all went like on the surface with some stuff. Like it was like just an overall great conversation. Right. So from there, I was like, oh, okay. Well, she was saying cool. And then like I started like check you out on social media. I'm like, oh, okay, she gets busy out here.
Thank you.
And then like you came through it a second time. I'm like, yo, yeah, she's like the truth. So
thank you.
Yeah. So you probably one of the only people like I've met first in real life and then like on social media.
That's dope.
Yeah, I can't really say that too often.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
I'm so honored.
And your dopeness carries across platforms. You're dope in real life and you're dope on social media.
I appreciate that.
No problem. So yeah, a lot of people's dopeness doesn't transcend, real life to social media. Some people are either very dope on social media and real
shallow and
meh. Yeah. So glad to see
I
that.
like that.
Yeah. Meh. So glad to see that, you're dope all the way around.
Thank you.
So with these interviews, I don't know if you've actually seen one of these before.
I've caught a few.
You caught a couple?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've caught a few. I'm a fan.
Okay. So for the icebreaker question, if your life was a movie, if it was Nikki, what would be the 3 to 5 songs that would be on your soundtrack?
Ooh. Okay.
The songs that, matter the most to you throughout the duration of your life.
Okay. It would definitely be Yayo by Erykah Badu.
Okay. Why is that?
She's talking about the love of being a mom.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite songs in the world.
Really?
Right.
Okay.
About how beautiful motherhood is. If if you ever feel fear of anything, come lay on my chest, I got you.
Okay.
Anybody who knows me knows my son is my whole world.
Right.
He grown now, but that's my dog. Right?
Yeah.
I would say After the Morning After. That's Frankie Beverly and me.
Okay.
Because I show up, I do what I do, and I still go back to being me. And so it's like, you know, would you still want me after that? You know, would you still want me after the cameras, after the stage, after after all of the other things that make me great as a professional? Would you still rock with me afterwards? So song 3 will probably be Street Symphony by Monica.
Okay. I can see you as a Monica fan.
I'm so a Monica. Listen. Try.
What is it about Monica? Let me ask you that, because I know I got another friend who's like a big Monica fan. Like, anytime she comes anywhere near, she's there.
Listen, I probably am friends with her.
Really?
Because I'm the same exact way. If it's in breathing distance,
you're there?
I'm there.
So
if
what is
just
it?
Doing a signing, I'm there.
How many times have you seen Monica?
Ooh, at least 4.
Okay.
At least 4 or 5 with her coming. She doesn't always come to this area.
Right.
I'll say she doesn't come to this area a lot.
Right.
But the last few times she's come here, even from signing to the club to a show, I've been at each one.
Each stop.
Just all day.
Like, wherever you going, I'm there too, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I'll see you there, girl.
Right.
But if I were to answer what is it about her, one, she's a boy mom, right?
Okay.
She's super loyal to everything and everything that everyone and everything that she experiences, she's super loyal to it, right? She takes pride in being a person first. Okay. Before the money, before the fame, before anything. She's always going to be true to who she is. Yeah. And that I resonate with that. Okay. Right? And outside, she's beautiful.
Very much so.
She's beautiful, and she's unapologetically like who she is all the time. She's super, super humble. And when I was younger, I used to think I was Monica. For real. Like, I have a whole YouTube playlist that says I think I was Monica.
Really?
Yes. We had the same shoes, the same haircut, and everything.
You had those little white shoes, didn't you?
I did. I had those and those black and white platforms in the video she had.
Oh, God.
Listen.
You got to see you with the white shoes.
Listen, sitting on the corner, sitting on the curb.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Trying to tell you. Listen, no Monica slander, okay?
I'm not.
No Monica slander. This your podcast, and I said no Monica slander.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that today. All right, so then
my two
go for it.
I think there would be Mary J. Blige. What is the name of that song? It is. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
No hateration? Okay.
I honestly don't like that song.
That's the worst song she's ever made.
In life.
And it's probably like the most popular song.
Besides that chicken song when she was in the commercial.
Wasn't she like in the Popeyes?
Something. Yeah. But
don't do all things for a check.
No. I can't think of the name of the song. We're gonna have to cut that part.
That's great. The last song.
The last song would be Good to Me by her.
Okay, I don't think I know that song.
I love that song.
Really?
Yes. Because even though like my business like is the big center of my life, I'm a love lover.
Okay.
You know, and so that song is big to me because it talks about, you know, love me when I'm not around. Be good to me, period.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and she digs into the song about, you know, how some people or some men aren't bad men. It's just the people that they're around that make them think that maybe this is what they're supposed to be or supposed to act like. And so then that cultivates how they treat people.
Gotcha.
And in all actuality, on the inside, that's not really who you are. And that's typically the person that I get to see. So it's like, if you're going to be good to me in front of all of them and me. Right?
That's deep.
That's one of my favorite songs. So definitely. So I'm a love lover. I'm true to myself. That's literally the girl next door. That's my street symphony.
Right.
I'm a mom. What was my other songs?
You ain't know the Mary J song?
I couldn't think of the Mary J song.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
We're going to have to find out that Mary J.
Yeah, we're gonna find it before the end of this.
Plug it in.
Yeah, we're going to go through her discography before this all done.
Right.
All right. So we got through your songs, which is like, those songs definitely tell a lot about you.
Yeah.
But what were the moments in your life? Let's talk about your origin story.
Okay.
So what were the moments in your life that have gotten you to where you're at today?
I would say, I'm going to just touch on,
Yeah, just touch on pieces, and then
highlights.
I'm gonna have to stop you like, hey, we need to talk about
digging
that.
into that, right? Yeah. Okay. So, as a young girl, like young girl, 7, 8, I started.
Where you from?
I'm from Norfolk,
Okay.
Virginia, right? When I got to be about, I want to say 2nd, 3rd grade, I moved to Northview, Virginia. So I'm from Northview, Virginia.
Which is Norfolk.
Norfolk.
Yeah.
But Northview is pretty big. So I like to say we're our own city.
Oh, okay.
Inside of
It's still Norfolk.
It's still Norfolk,
yeah.
Right? So when I was younger, I used to like hate the way my mom used to do our hair. And I couldn't really braid either. Mind you, I started out as a braider.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would just like take a couple of my braids out at the ends and just try to see if I could do what she did. I mean, it was bad. So you couldn't really, tell the difference. And I kept doing it over and over and over. My sisters, I would, get them in the corner and be doing a couple of their braids over, and I actually started to get good at it.
Okay.
Right? So I get about 12, right? So from 7, now we at 12.
Yeah.
I'm working under the table at the hair cuttery.
Oh, really?
Right. The only 12-year-old banging out braids in the back room with the washer and dryer.
Yeah.
They think I'm back there folding towels.
Were you allowed to do that?
No.
That's what's under the table. Okay.
Yeah.
How'd you get that job?
My aunt worked at the hair cutter. She's a stylist.
Oh,
and she was real cool with her manager. I want to say, I can't remember her name. I want to say it was Tracy or something.
Yeah.
Tracy was real cool. And my aunt, she was legit like one of those, you should do it. You should do it.
Yeah.
Just come on, you can do it. You can do it. And she had children, and my mom had children. My other aunt had children. And I was, just doing my cousin's family members' hair. And she was like, you can come to work with me one day. And I don't think I ever left.
Really?
I don't think I ever left. I remember going there to fold towels and sweep the floor. But unbeknownst to me, I was learning salon flow.
Okay.
Right? So I'm learning, okay, so this person come in, that person go in the dryer, that person going to the bowl. That's interesting. I'm literally learning, but I'm not knowing that's what I'm learning. And my aunt started telling people, that I do hair, and I started doing my own hair. And so I started getting clients, and I'm in middle school, right? And I was doing hair at home, but then I got a name tag. It was ball game.
So all right. So what's the difference in mindset from just doing it at home with your cousins or people around the way to being at a shop, even at that young age?
To be honest, I felt like a boss.
Really?
Yeah, because I had a name tag. Like seriously, like I had a name tag that had my name on it and a company name on it. So it was like that, the vision, and I still have that name tag. Right?
Okay.
The vision of seeing my name on a name tag gave me, like, it helped me foresee myself in different positions with my name on a name tag. right? Even if it wasn't working for someone, I always saw it as me working for myself, but it was like some business. I didn't know what it would be at that age, but it was my name and my name tag, right? And so I want to say that being able to say I work at a shop at 12, 13, everybody else can't wait to get home and watch cartoons.
Right. You was already making money.
And I'm making money.
How much money was you making?
To be honest,
like a roundabout.
I would say, now mind you, at a young age, I had the drive. Right? So I'm waking up at 6 a.m. and I might go to bed 1, 2 o'clock.
But you could do that as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's different when you're at your mama's house.
Yeah.
Because now you're bringing these different people into your mother's house, right? On her good pillows.
Yeah.
On her good couch.
Yeah.
You know, using her good combs, stuff. Right? So I like being able to separate myself. I always felt more comfortable at home. But when I was in the salon, it was just like I'm doing this. Like, and you can't, I felt like it was something nobody could take away from me, that feeling. Right. So
you answered my question though.
What was it?
How much money you was making around? Yeah.
I would say at like 13, I was definitely probably clearing maybe about 800 in a weekend.
Okay.
And what I would do was I would line my sisters up, and everybody had a job. Somebody had to help me count my money. Somebody had to take the braids out.
Yeah.
Somebody had to shampoo. Somebody had to blow dry, and I braided.
Were you the oldest?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and I have older siblings, but we didn't live in the same house. So, but of the ones that lived in the house, that was and then I would divvy up the money, and you get your piece. So basically, by the time I got mine, I was about 800. I used to buy my own school clothes and stuff like that. Like I was buying my own school clothes. You couldn't tell me I wasn't a boss. You hear me?
Right.
Like I was wearing my white DCs. I was excited. I had my white DCs. You couldn't tell me anything.
That's crazy though. So you were learning at a young age how to like manage people, like delegate tasks, like all that type of stuff.
Yeah. And didn't even know that. Like I didn't know that. That's what I was doing.
Right.
I didn't know that I was creating flow or setting appointments. Like the importance of setting appointments and having structure.
That's everything.
It is, man.
Yeah.
And it's people right now that still struggle with that.
There's a lot of people that struggle with that.
So I'm thankful that I was able to unintentionally learn that at a young age.
Right. So, all right, so you at 12 or 13, you were doing that. So what was like the next progression?
I think my next big boom was probably getting me going to seek out my first job. Because, of course, my aunt put me in the hair cuttery with her. Right. And then I eventually went back home. And
how long were you at the hair cuttery, though?
Ooh. I want to say from 8 to like 12.
Oh, okay.
And then by then I'm in middle school.
Yeah.
And so then they follow me home from school and everybody, get their hair done. And I was also doing hair in school too. I was a little bit rough around the edges. So
they say you ain't supposed to do that, but
but the teachers are just like, she's quiet. Let her braid hair.
Right.
Leave her alone.
Yeah.
She ain't bothering nobody.
Right.
And I was chilling. But people aren't always friendly.
No, not at all. Not at all.
People aren't always friendly. So as long as I was in my space, in my zone.
Anybody say nothing?
No.
Okay. So you say you had to seek out a job.
Yeah. So after I graduated, first I learned networking right in school, building my clientele. Didn't know that that's what I was doing, but
that's exactly what you're doing.
And then when I went to high school, I'm like, you know, I want a job. Like, I want a job.
Yeah.
But I didn't see myself doing much of anything outside of hair.
Yeah, what job did you want? Because I know, like, in high school, when I was in high school, I always wanted to work at a shoe store.
To be honest, I just wanted
in the
to
mall.
work in a salon.
Really?
Yes. Like, I wanted to
Oh,
work
I thought
in
you
a
were saying, like, you tried to find a job outside.
Well, I did do that. And
you probably hated that.
I did.
Yeah.
I worked at a clothing store.
Uh-huh.
I worked at a few clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at the hospital. They all drove me nuts.
Yeah, I can see that.
I didn't find happiness outside of doing hair.
Okay.
Right? So I went to go seek my own first job, right? And it was a barbershop close to my house. And the manager there, shout out to Monica. Monica, she was a beast, whole beast, right? She was the manager there. She was the only woman. And I found that intriguing.
Yeah.
I had never seen a female barber before.
Okay.
And not only was she a female barber, she was a dope female barber.
Not bad.
Right? So she was the manager, and she introduced me to the owner, and I had this little photo album. It was raggedy, but it had pictures, my Polaroid pictures in there, and I was like, this is what I can do. And I had this big red fro, and before they were wearing fros, like, I'm just waltzing in there, like, I want to work here. Can I work here? I didn't know anything about etiquette. Right?
And I'm guessing you're like 16 at the time?
Maybe 15. Because I hadn't had my son yet.
Oh, okay.
And I go, and they were like, no, not right now. I was like, okay. So I go back again after I have my son. And by then I'm 17.
Yeah.
And they let me come.
Okay.
And I stayed and I learned locks. She taught me locks.
Okay, all right, so let me ask you this one. How old were you when you had your son? I feel like that's probably a major...
I was 17 when I had my son.
Okay.
I was 16 when I got pregnant.
Okay.
In high school.
Okay. I feel like that's probably like a major point. We're going to touch on that though.
It is.
Yeah. But what do you feel like you learned that was different by being in a barbershop as opposed to being at a hair cutter?
Man. One, I think one of the biggest things, and this is going to sound wild, right? One of the biggest things that I learned about being in a barbershop was how to be a woman.
How so?
Because you get to see the different perspectives of men about women.
Oh, okay.
And it teaches you what to or what not to.
Yeah.
How to, how not to. It teaches you everything in the book, right? Without even it being intentional. Like, it's not even, hey, Nick, let me tell you. Yeah. It's literally
just the conversations that happen.
Yes, it's observation. Right? So I would say that one of the biggest things that I took from every barbershop that I ever worked in was definitely how to be a woman. How to demand my respect. How to carry myself with the respect, right? Without having to be a whole bitch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just how to carry yourself. Because they showed you what women meant to them. And they showed me what I meant to them. And it was a big difference. I could tell the people that they were, you know, the at home versus the play stuff, the outside stuff, the distractions. Right. You could. There's a vast difference. I learned. Oh, that's a Tuesday Applebee's situation versus.
This sounds like barbershop talk.
Listen.
Yeah.
And it helped me understand. Like, I'm looking at the psychology of it, right?
Yeah.
What about her gives you Tuesday vibes? You know, she might not be the absolute beautiful, drop dead, gorgeous with the body, but she got a dope soul, so I might go out with her on Tuesday. Or I'm going to just use it as a mission on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just taught me so many things psychologically that men, and not necessarily all bad. I would definitely say more good for me.
Yeah. Barbershop is a wild place.
It is. It's literally a man's safe haven.
Yeah. So you hear all the conversations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you know the last barbershop I worked in? I worked there for 9 years. I don't think I talked for like the first 4.
For the first 4 years?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The first 4. Like, the clients legit didn't know that I even spoke.
Really?
I didn't say anything. I'm an observer.
Yeah.
I watched.
Did the barbers know you spoke?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would talk to them, but nobody ever really saw me speaking.
Yeah.
And so when I did speak, it was just like, oh, you talk?
Hey, I can see that. You wasn't the person that was loud, like, yo.
No.
Cause there's always like some loud niggas at the barbershop.
Yeah. And it's
loud
always
and wrong.
loud females. It's
They probably so.
Females, they loud in other ways.
Yeah.
They loud like, I'm gonna wear these 6-inch heels on this slippery wax floor with my skin tight dress. And my bring little JJ to get his hair cut.
Yeah.
And the barber might be my son football coach. You know what I'm saying? They're loud in different ways.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It's very interesting to see. But even that taught me what type of woman I knew, to cultivate myself to be.
Okay. So, all right. So you mentioned, you had your son in high school. And like I said before, I'm getting ready to have a daughter.
Yes.
But I feel like...
Shouts to the girl dad.
Yes. Appreciate you. But I feel like ever since I found out, like, my mind has been like in another gear. Yeah. So how has like your grind and hustle been? I mean, you've had a kid for forever. You say he's grown now.
Yeah.
But how do you feel like that kind of translated your grind that you have?
It definitely made me go harder.
Really?
Right? Because one, I kept it to myself for a while. Not as in like away from my family, but away from people at school, because nobody was walking around school pregnant.
Yeah, like the big sweatshirts and stuff?
Not really. I mean, I was a tomboy. I still am in a lot of ways. But it was just mind your business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't ask me questions like... Yeah. And that's always the persona not necessarily the persona, because it's truly who I am.
Right.
But it was just, when I'm ready, I'll talk about it.
Right.
Until then, mind your business, lady. So once it, started to show and people would ask, it pushed my networking in school even harder, because it's like now they can see that I'm walking around with this big old belly, right? And at the time, like I said, now walking around school pregnant is way more common. Yeah. But then, not so much. Right. So
when did you graduate?
I walked in 04.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I walked in 04. But when they see people whose hair you've done, and then they see you walking around with this big old stomach, it's like, well, I want to support her.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I would barter. I knew I needed stuff.
Yeah.
I knew that I could do hair, but I knew that at some point, I was going to have to stop, because I was going to be too uncomfortable. Right. And so they bought me diapers. They bought me, formula. Like, all type. Listen. And then after I had him, at that point, it's like, listen, don't come to me with no short money. Don't come to me talking about you can't. I don't want to hear none of that. Give me your shoes. Right. Run me your shoes. You can get them back after you bring me my money.
Right.
And unfortunately, I had to do that to a few people, but fortunately, it helped me build my courage to stand my ground. Yeah. When it came to stuff like that, because when you get into this industry, people will take advantage of you if you are not.
I feel like that's any industry, though.
Right.
Yeah, people see it like a weakness, or
Yeah.
you look like you're not sure about what you're doing. People definitely gonna take advantage.
Right, and then here it is. They thought some people will look at me. Oh, she a mom. She needs the money.
Yeah.
Nah, you need these braids.
Right.
You need these braids, and so I had to connect with his shoes, connect with his clothes. Like I had 3 baby showers.
Oh, really?
I had one big one, and then I had 2 from one was in school, and one was another one that somebody from school gave me. Like my son, I didn't have to buy anything for my son until he was maybe 3.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah,
He was
good.
straight.
Yeah.
So shout out to all of y'all. Right? Because my baby was good.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, he was good.
Okay.
I was good because of that. You know, you think about you being a teenage mom or a teenage dad, and how babies are expensive. You know, so where's all of this stuff gonna come from?
Yeah.
It literally taught me back then. You just got to be a good person.
Yeah, somebody's gonna bless you.
It's gonna come.
Yeah.
And it definitely came in abundance.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. So you get out of high school. And were you still working? And I'm guessing you were working at barbershop still?
Yeah. I don't think that I think I might have been back at home by then.
Really?
Matter of fact, I'm sure I was, because I'm adjusting to a baby.
Yeah.
You know, and I told you I was a little rough around the edges, so it took me a little time to get homeschooled and stuff like that. So once all of that stuff got set up, it was almost time for me to go back to school.
Right.
And so I'm doing school during the weekends, school and school during the holidays. So, and taking care of this baby. It was a bit much.
Yeah, I bet. Well, let's fast forward a little bit though. So so you graduated, you was working in barbershops, learning, everything that you need to learn. When did you finally be like, you know what, I kind of want to go into a salon? Because you're already working for yourself. Actually, is that considered working for yourself when you work for a barbershop?
Yeah, because it's booth rental.
Yeah. All right, so when did you say, you know what, I want to work for an actual salon now?
I wanted a different feel. I wanted to see if it would be different. I wanted to see if being in a salon would be much different. Of course, because I had been in hair cuttery, but that's like a chain salon.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a small business salon. And I grew up knowing about the small business salons, and you go there every Saturday morning, everybody get their hair done and get the pressing curls and stuff like that. I wanted to experience that.
Right.
And so shout to Jazzy Hair. That was the first salon that I went to.
Okay.
And they were from Northern Virginia too. But they held me tight, right? I learned a lot of stuff. Like I learned a lot of things about hair and what like healthy hair looked like and things of that nature. And they sent me a lot of amazing clients. I was a kid stylist at that time, so I went from doing everybody to mostly kids because
what made you decide to switch?
I didn't. It just switched. It wasn't even anything that I intended to do. It was just at that time, I went from being in high school with the people at my hands or at my fingertips to not being in school to being in the salon with people who have children.
Okay.
So my audience changed, and learning and working with children helped me with my patience.
I bet.
When
you say children, what age are you talking about? Because
from 10 months to however old you are when you have a child.
Okay.
All of them, but I would say the majority of them were anywhere from 4 or 5 to maybe 12. 12, 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did that teach you by? Because I'm super big on once you have your niche, then you can kind of, you can charge more, things start to open up for you.
I didn't know that then.
Really?
Because again, I'm coasting.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just doing what I love at this point. It's not necessarily a business.
Right.
Like, in means of me being an entrepreneur. I had never even heard that word.
Yeah.
You know, so going into the salon, it helped me understand Black women.
Okay.
Because hair cuttery being a chain salon, it's not a lot
of white women in there.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of Black women in there coming to get serviced or working there. Right. And so I had already pretty much put that piece, that part together. And then working in a barbershop helped me put that piece together. And then working in Jazzy Hair helped me put the Black woman piece to what I already.
Okay, so what did you learn from there?
Black women love shoes and purses.
True.
They are very competitive in a lot of ways. Whether
this is gonna be the clip, by the way.
They are very competitive. Whether it's who's gonna get this bag first so they can get to the salon and show it off or talk about it. Who's gonna get the biggest ring when they get married? Who's gonna get the biggest upgrade when they renew? Who has the biggest house? Who drives what? Who has these shoes? Back then it was Dooney and Burke and Coach and things of that nature. And to me, it was like a friendly competition, but I ain't like it.
Like very passive aggressive.
Yeah, like, I mean, I see a little bit, you know what I mean? But without saying that. And then it kind of put me in the sense of, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I'm young. Yeah. I'm younger than everyone.
But how old were you at the time?
Maybe 19.
Oh, okay.
I want to say 19.
Okay.
And so it's like, you do see all of them roll up in their bins and, my husband is retired. I'm just coming here to get my hair done every Tuesday. And, it was very interesting to see, like, to just be able to watch. Like, I would say that working there helped me understand Black women a whole lot more than I ever thought I knew. Right?
I can see that.
Definitely.
I can definitely see that.
And so after leaving there, I went back to the barbershop.
Oh, okay.
Because I felt like that was my home.
Yeah.
Right? That was my home. And that's when I went to Exclusive. Shout to Joe. That's my dog. Right? And then I learned about grown men.
Okay.
Grown men with jobs and careers and stuff.
Yeah, because you're definitely grown at this time.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm about 22.
Okay. But let's fast forward though. We get into a lot of your backstory. I want to dive into some other stuff though.
Okay.
All right. So you said something before that kind of caught me off guard. You said while you was, working at these salons and stuff, you didn't look at it as a business.
Right.
So when did you actually look at it as a business?
I was working at Salon Nova. With my ace Fonnie. Right. Shout out to Fonnie. And we were having a conversation. And she was like, well, if you don't have $500, you can just go get. You don't have no money. And I was like, oh, I'm broke. I felt attacked.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, I don't have $500 that I can just go get.
Yeah.
So it's like, so what do I do to get $500? Right? And so I started to look at the trajectory of my business differently. Actually, it started before I went there because I kind of canvassed like what I wanted out of a salon and what I was looking for because I was looking to grow. Right? And being in a barbershop, they're not seeing things how I see things when I'm talking about growing.
So what were you thinking about when you said you wanted to grow?
One, I wanted to get my cosmetology license.
Okay.
2, I wanted a different type of clientele.
And what type of clientele was that?
I wanted the clientele that didn't have time to do their hair at home.
So
but they had
people
the
that's looking
money
for
to
convenience.
go, yeah. But they had the money to go get it
Right.
done on a regular basis.
Right.
And they wanted it to be healthy.
Okay.
So I knew that I was already doing natural hair.
Before you get into that, let me ask you this.
Okay.
So when you thought about that particular like profile, what is it about that profile that stood out to you that you was like, you know what, I need these attributes in my clients?
Real honest,
Mm-hmm.
the money. Because I needed it.
Yeah.
You know, like my son's getting older. I have different wants and needs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm living on my own at this point, and I want, like I said, I have different wants and needs. My son is in different sports and things, and all that stuff costs money.
But but I get that. You're absolutely right. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it about those particular things that you said that resonated? Like, you know what, I can make money because they do this or they need this. Because the things that you said had nothing to do with money.
Kind of they did. To me, they did.
No, because you said somebody who didn't
Who doesn't have time to do their own hair.
Right. So what does that mean?
That means you're not going to be trying to do it yourself. You're not going to be trying to go through the trial and errors of trying to figure it out yourself. So you're going to go to the salon.
Right. So that means you're going to pay somebody.
You're going to pay someone.
Yeah.
Someone who would rather pay than to try to figure it out themselves. I needed that person because, again, I don't need you trying to figure stuff out. I need to be able to explain it to you so I can teach you. Because if I can teach you, then you can trust me and you'll continue to come back. And then it was, I needed the money.
At the end of the day.
I needed the money, right?
At the end of the day.
And so that helped me with, not even to, make it sound like I was plotting or anything like that. But essentially, it's a life plot, right? I'm trying to set myself up for success.
And the reason I ask you that is because a lot of people just say, like, you know what, I need the money. And I'm going to just get anybody that need their hair done, I'm going to do their hair.
Nah.
But when you actually break it down, like, all right, these are the people I need, and these are the reasons why. Like you said, I need clientele who has the money to pay for it, but they also are really big and convenient. So that means when you start to think about that, you're like, you know what? I can't waste nobody's time. I got to be on time.
Right.
Because I know that they're going to pay me every week as long as I'm here doing my thing. And then also you said that pretty much they're not going to come to you and be like a know-it-all.
Right.
So that means that, you know what, they're going to treat me with the respect and dignity that my position requires.
Right.
And they're not going to be like, hey,
that I earn.
That you earn.
Right.
That's the big thing.
Right.
So they're not going to be like, hey, I want to do this. I feel like you should do this to my hair. I'm like, no, I'm the professional. I know, I can see what your hair needs, so I'm going to just do that.
Yeah, sort of, but in a way of teaching them versus telling them. Right. So it's like,
or them trying to tell you.
Right. Because they will. And in the natural hair community, they're big on that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I want to say that, granted, I've been doing natural hair for at least 29 years. And even being natural myself for over 20 years. The last maybe 10 years or so, a lot of people have become more enlightened on what natural hair is, what it does, and so on and so forth. And so it's like, well, my hair is such and such, and it does da-da-da-da-da. And they don't know that it's only doing that because you're frying it to pieces.
Right.
And you think it's long, but it's really a lot of dead ends.
Yeah.
And, just teaching them what they're actually looking at versus what their perception of it is. And allowing me to cultivate their mindset to look at it for what it is instead of what they think it is and what they want it to be.
Gotcha.
So that was huge for me.
Yeah.
And I knew that going to Virginia Beach from Norfolk would give me a different type of clientele. The type of clientele that I was looking for.
Okay. And I'm guessing they did that?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right, so let me ask you this. So you're moving from Norfolk, Norview, Virginia, to Virginia Beach. What were some things that you were doing to kind of build your name in that particular area, or that particular market?
To be honest, just being a dope braider really, it built my name on its own. Right? The harder part, I won't even say the harder part, but the part of becoming the professional, Nicole J, the professional, was the part that was hard for people to...
Why you say that?
Because I require now a higher level of respect. I have a higher level of what I'm offering. It's a different level of service. So Nikki from Norview, that little Nikki that used to braid your hair, is not the same as Nikki the professional in the salon, in an upscale salon, in a top ranking salon, where I got to make my own rules. Fonnie literally let me make her salon into my own teaching arena. Right? And so that helped us get on panels. We were already doing shows and things like that together anyway, but being in the same place, we were like a awesome twosome. Right? And it got our names in places that have been remarkable for the both of us. And that helped me solidify my position in the natural hair industry. And then even going on tour and all types of things, it just helped me solidify my spot. And so then I niched down to just locks. I was already doing locks.
But then you niched down.
But I niched down.
I'm gonna get into that, but a question before that though. I'm big into like momentum. I feel like, we can keep moving. Like pretty much I teach this, on my Instagram.
I'm a big fan of your role.
Appreciate it. But I feel like everything starts momentum. Like we start to do stuff and then we get a little bit better and then we just kind of keep moving. And before you know it, something happens and it's like, we out of here. So what was like your momentum move? Like once you moved over to the salon and you're like, you're doing good. But then it's like, because you have a big social media following.
You think so? Thank you.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Okay. Most people average around like 4,000 to 5,000.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what was the move or what was the thing that happened that you felt like really like kind of took you off a little bit?
When I started getting mouthy.
Really?
Because I am very reserved. To know me personally, that I'm very quiet. But I started getting real mouthy.
What made you decide to do that?
Because I felt like I was an underdog and I didn't like it. I didn't like the position.
Some people like being the underdog.
I do. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like being the underdog, but at the time I felt like, why am I, doing all this and nobody hears me, nobody sees me, nobody is listening to me. So it's like, okay, everybody has like their signature whatever, right? Cardi, she has hers. Everybody has their thing.
Right.
So I made my own tagline.
No
butter, no wax, no butter, no gel, not ever. Right? So it's like I started tagging that on everything. And then I started getting like real mouthy, like, nah, we ain't doing that. No, we ain't doing that either. Nope, get that out of here. But then I was coming behind it with the facts. And so it's like, oh, she might be onto something. And so...
Were you doing that like with your clients or was this more like a social media thing?
Both. Because at the time, I didn't have like a cutoff thing where people, could, like now it's a waiting list for you to get a consultation. It was just a free-for-all. So you could have a consultation in the middle of the day and, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to you. But at the time, there was no, boundaries, so to speak. And so I'm in the middle of the salon. We ain't doing that. You know what I mean? And I always back it up with the facts. And they respect it for that. And so then it was like, people on social media were like, oh, what Miss Nicole J said. And I'm like, I did say that. But it was like, I'm still like in my reserved little shell. But it's like, oh no, I did say that. And then it's just like, oh yeah, that's what we doing. You know what I mean? And so,
what do you feel like the people loved about that?
that I was honest and like myself, like authentically myself, right? Because I used to see like people on social media and they speak like this, and you want to be able to be understood, and you want for people to take you a certain way if you speak professionally and diction in your words and things of that nature. And I'm just like, but I don't talk like that.
Right.
You know,
people feel like you have to be perfect to be a professional, and you don't have to be perfect. No, you just be yourself.
Right. And I realized that once people accepted me for who I am, I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, I don't have to be what that coach said. And with that, because one thing about me, I'm a forever student, right? So I've been taking classes and classes and classes, just learning and learning and learning. And everybody says to do something different. And I'm like, well, why isn't being myself an option? You know
what were some of the things they were telling you to do?
When you go to speak in front of crowds, dress like this. When you go to, when you're on social media, wear your hair like this. I had a coach tell me that my hair looked a mess. I had a twist out. She told me my hair looked a mess. She was like, you were on live, your hair was all over the place, but she wasn't in the natural hair community. So she didn't understand my twist out was popping. But you bald head, you don't know. You know what I mean? Like you don't know, and you're not part of the natural hair community. So you don't know what
looks good and what not.
Right. And so it was like, oh, so you want me to look like you.
Or do it the way that you did it.
Right. And then I started learning that people have different marketing techniques, whether it's guerrilla marketing, where it's throwing everything in your face and throwing all these tasks at you and want you to hurry up and do it. And then you got the more...
That's exhausting.
It is very exhausting. And then you have the people that do a whole bunch of cussing to get your attention. And, you know what I mean? Like, I started to psychologically pick apart what each person's approach was. And I was just like, I don't want to do none of that.
So what do you feel like your approach was?
I'm going to do what I want to do. That was my approach. I want to do like, I used to suffer from insomnia bad, right? So one night I just posted a picture of some locks and my hand was in it. And that picture went ham. I was like,
Hold on, just a regular?
It was a picture of some locks and my hand was in it. Like, I just was like, it was just my hand. Fingernail polish was probably a little chipped. But, you know, it's just my hand in it. And so I saw it go like ham. So I tried it again in the daytime, not so much.
Yeah.
Then I did it again at night, late at night. And it went ham again. So I was like, oh.
People are up.
They are up. So my audience, they're night owls like I am.
Yeah.
And so I want to say I built a strong few thousand of followers just off of some locks and my little hand.
I'm gonna have to see this post because you make it sound super simple. Like
it literally is. It literally is. And it wowed me. I was like, I said, this all y'all want me to do?
I'm doing all this extra stuff for nothing.
Yeah, all these tricks and,
Yeah.
That's all they wanted me to do. And so, you know, once pictures start circulating and people start using them for their thumbnails on YouTube, it's like, oh, so this is what we're doing. You know, it was just like, that was the aha moment for me that you legit can't just do whatever you want to do.
Okay, so all right, so you start to go nuts with the posts and stuff. What did you learn from that aha moment, like afterwards, like outside of like you could just do whatever?
I learned that my audience were insomniacs like I am. I learned that simplicity is bigger than anything you could imagine it to be. Simplicity is complexity to me. And I learned that if you just pay attention to what your audience is paying attention to on your page, you can just feed that. and keep going with it. And that's literally all I've done. So I'll try a picture with thick locks. Like now, the people in my audience, they like thick locks.
Yeah.
Because now more people are finding out about me and they know that I love thick locks.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh my gosh, I love thick locks. And then I learned that there was a community of lock counters, right? So people that count their locks.
Okay.
And so it's like, oh, I have 12. Oh, I have 36. Oh, I have 40. And it's like, well, how many do you have? And then when I locked my hairs, Miss Nikki, do you know how many locks? Yes, I have 82. You know, and it's like, oh, so you're with this. Yeah. Like, and I only know that because I know that people like that information, right? Not because it means anything to me, but.
Right. So you figured out what your audience was into. And like, you know what? I don't mind doing something like that to kind of, you know, it's a part of, you know, what they like. So I can do that too and just kind of see what happens from there.
Mm-hmm. And I mix a little psychology in it.
Okay.
Because I am a psych major.
Yeah.
And so I understand that understanding people is what brings you the repeat business and the repeat audience.
Right.
To keep people to stay. So if I'm switching it from science to just hair, because we're talking about the science, the makeup of hair, hairstyles and hair care, and then psychological science.
Right.
How can you get bored?
I guess you can.
And then I'm posting these pictures, all this build up and stuff, and it's like, well, what is this? And they naming all of this stuff. It just keeps them intrigued. It keeps them.
People are never bored by the stuff that you post.
Right. I've never, like, I had someone just today, literally today, say, you know, I love the fact that your posts are always so intriguing. I don't want a show me page or platform.
Or just like a portfolio or just all the hairstyles. Like
that's what everybody does.
Like it's very boring out there.
It does, because okay, how many times you gonna do this updo? How many times you gonna do, like, 'cause I mean, I don't showcase a lot of styles.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do is rope twist, but I like to showcase the different textures and the rope twist. Like, and then like I get into the aesthetics of people. Like I like ASMR, right? And I like different things. So I used to get my fingernails matte. The finish on my nails, they would be matte all the time. Because when I put it in the picture, and they will always be bright colors. When I put it in the picture against the person's hair, it always made their hair look so much richer. And then it will always, like, my nails would be like a pop of color. Right. And it's like, well, what am I more intrigued with? The nail color or the hair? Or the scalp? Yeah. Or the fact that these parts are clean. Like, and then she said she's not using products. Well, what she got going on over there? You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And I think about those type of things. And I try my best to try to cater to those things without trying too hard.
Okay. The one question I had, because you mentioned it before.
Okay.
So you had said that you like transitioned to your niche being just locks.
Right. Healthy locks. Right.
So, what have you learned from, two-part question.
Okay.
What have you learned from just having, like, just that niche? And how has your business grown just by having a niche?
Which one you want me to answer first?
What have you learned first?
What have I learned? I have learned that everybody has a philosophy. And to me, nobody's philosophy is wrong.
Okay.
And I say that because if you grew up in a household where every Saturday morning your mom cooked bacon and y'all ate bacon and grits as a Saturday tradition, that's what you probably are going to do as an adult.
Right.
And just because we eat turkey bacon in my house doesn't mean that I'm wrong for eating it. It just means that that's what y'all do in your house, and this is what we do in our house.
Right.
And that's how I look at different philosophies. I look at it like, okay, I respect your perception, I respect your philosophy, and I respect what you do and how you get to wherever you get. At the end of the day, you hustling, you getting your not even hustling, because I don't even like to relate that word to entrepreneurship, because it's definitely more than a hustle.
Right.
But you are making ends meet how you make your ends meet, and I'm making mine meet how I make mine meet. I learned that everybody has their own philosophy.
Yeah.
And I learned that people are hungry for knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
They are very, very hungry for knowledge, and not just the fluff, right? I tell people the stuff you see on my page is not Googleable.
Yeah.
Right? You're not about
the stuff
to go
that you
on
can only
Google.
know by doing the work.
Right.
Yeah.
It's through experience.
Right.
You know, like if you've never had anyone come into your salon with aloe vera pulp and sweet onion soup in their hair, you wouldn't know how to get that out. But I do. Right? Because I've experienced
it.
Right. If you've never had someone come in with, a scalp issue, inflamed, all types of things, if you don't know your craft, one, you wouldn't know how to identify it, to know how to care for it. Or two, you wouldn't have a resource to send them to treat it. Right. So we can care for it in the salon, but we can't treat anything. Right. You have to go to another level to get treated or diagnosed, right? So I would say that the philosophy, that people are hungry for knowledge, and that what I do matters. It matters. It makes a big deal. Yeah. It's a big deal. And I say that because as we grow, we're learning that the different foods and drinks and the environment and all of those things are affecting our bodies in so many different ways. Right. And so when we were younger, we could eat X, Y, and Z, and now we're older, we can't eat X, Y, and Z. And although I'm still trying, because I could when I was younger, to eat these things, now I realize that I have something going on with my hair and my scalp. And so trying to fix it topically is what most people are thinking to do. But when I'm able to give them the information to dig deeper, and how stress plays a part, how your diet plays a part, how your environment plays a part, how your husband and your wife that's stressing you out plays a part, how your work is playing a part, how you spreading yourself too thin is playing a part. Right. All of these things plus more contribute to what we have going on. And so what I do and how I do it matters, because I can help you in all of those areas. Okay. I don't just tell people, don't do this, don't do that. I give you actionable steps, because that's what I look for. Yeah,
me too. Same way. I definitely feel you on that. Yeah. Okay. So how has your business grown by finding your niche?
Handsomely.
Really?
Yes. And I will say it's grown financially.
Yeah.
Greatly. Right. But it's so much bigger than that. Right? Like, I legit get to see people evolve. Yeah. Physically, mentally, spiritually. Right? I get to witness people change the trajectory of their households. I fix marriages. Like, I've been able to help a woman buy her first house so that she can leave her abusive husband.
Just from the conversations?
From conversations and being an aid, being a safe haven, being a safe space. Yeah. Where we can be transparent with one another. And I can give you the resources that I have, and I can offer you help in ways that only I can help. Now, I might not be able to do everything, but I can give you what I would want someone to give me, whether it's a word of advice, whether it's a hug. I done stood in the middle of the salon and hugged plenty of my clients while they cried and cried and cried, right. And vice versa. And that's fulfilling for me. So being able to be, especially since being on my own, I've been in my own salon for a little over a year now. And I thought that my bond with my clients was close before.
Ain't nobody else around to show.
Man, I'll probably break down and cry. Like, it has been amazing.
Yeah.
You know, like to see people take down walls that essentially I didn't even know were up.
Right.
But to see them take down walls and build with you on a whole nother level, that is so fulfilling to me. Like, that is fulfilling to me in the sense that I see me and what I do changing lives.
That's deep.
It's really about your experience. Everything with me is about how you experience me in the space that we're in. For sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is deep. This is very deep stuff.
I love it.
Yeah. All right, so I got a little speed round before we wrap it. So we've been going for like an hour or so.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions for the speed round.
Okay.
And
so now this speed round, do I have to tell you the first thing that comes to my mind, or how to?
Or you can give me a good answer. You ain't gotta do the first thing, but
okay.
Let me pull these up real quick.
See what I got.
But also want you to think about as well, because right after that, we're going into my play of the day segment.
Okay.
Which is where I need you to give a tangible piece of advice that can either talk about how stylists can be better at what they do, or stylists can grow their clientele.
Okay.
Or how, stylists can grow, like, online or something like that.
Okay.
All right, so are you ready for these tangible questions?
I'm ready for these tangible questions.
All right. What is a motto that you live by?
A motto?
Yeah.
Lately, it has been one. I'm not sure if he's the creator of this phrase, but it's definitely one that I've been living by lately. Is just jump and build your wings on the way down.
Okay.
For sure.
I know exactly what that means. All right. What do you like to spend your money on?
I'm a spa girl.
Really?
Yes. So I like getting my nails done and my feet done and my massages. And
how often you get massages?
A lot. But I get my hands and stuff done mostly so that I can, keep my circulation, movement and things of that nature up to par. But I like self-care in a lot of different ways. Yeah. So outside of spa stuff, I like notebooks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What was your biggest leap of faith moment in your career?
Moving into my salon.
Really?
For sure. It was so emotional, but it was monumental for me. And the fact that Fani was like, get out. It's time for you to go grow.
Right.
If not for yourself, definitely for your son. And my sister literally, shout out to Bree, she was like, this what we doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, we are? She was like, yep. I was like, okay, we doing it. Just jump.
Okay. All right. What have you learned from a negative client experience?
I've learned from a negative client experience that it's okay to let people go. Mm-hmm. If it affects you negatively, it's not for you. It's too expensive. It's a liability.
Right.
So let it go.
Okay. What have you spent money on that has led you to the highest return?
My dryer.
Really?
Yes.
Why you say that?
Because I had one of the traditional, dryers that
connect to the wall and all that.
Now I have one that one wasn't connected to the wall. It's a stand-up dryer.
Oh, okay.
And so now I have one that is connected to the wall, and it cuts down on dryer time. It has way more options of the temperatures.
Okay.
It has it does different things, and it looks super cool, right? So it looks like a space helmet or something. But it has definitely helped chop down my time as far as how I get my people in
and out. Okay. All right. What do you feel like is the blueprint of success for a stylist?
Always be a student. Trust yourself. Find mentors. Manage your money.
Makes sense.
Prepare for the future. All of that rolls into one for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last question as far as the speed round.
Okay.
At the end of your career, what do you want to be known for as far as like what would satisfy your ego to know that you've accomplished?
That I have been able to change lives and kept my integrity while doing it. Integrity is huge to me. Huge. I'm not selling my soul to make $1.
Right.
I'm gonna always like my for my business is trust, honesty, integrity. Integrity, trust, and honesty, or results.
Yeah.
Like you can't get results without those things.
Right.
And so knowing that I built my business slowly but surely, cautiously, and non-cautiously, right? Because we got to take leaps of faith. But I kept my integrity throughout the whole entire thing. I was always true to who I was. I've always made it clear that, you know, I'm a mom first, and before that, I'm a person first. And that, you know, you have to stay true to yourself, or you can keep yourself grounded. Keep yourself around grounded people, and don't do that whole no new friends things. You know?
Gotta get friends.
You're one of my new friends.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty cool.
Thank you. Likewise. All right, so we've talked about a lot, right? We talked about...
We've been around the world.
Yeah, we've been all over the place. So every episode, I just like to end with, like I said, my Play of the Day segment, where I'm very big into like giving tangible tips to like people who are trying to do the same things that we're doing. Because the only way our community and just what we do grow is by reaching back and be able to, you know, advise, you know, the people want to come up of how we did certain things.
For sure.
Like I said, that could be something like physical as far as like building your clientele, or it could be something as far as like growing your following. You got
Can I do both?
Go for it.
Okay, so
make it tangible though. Don't give me just work hard.
No. Because it takes way more than that, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to building your business, I would say learn your client. Like learn them. Like be able to finish their sentences type learn them. Like know what they're gonna respond to your question with type learn them. Like in a relationship type learn them. Right? Because the more you know them, the more you learn them, the more they trust you. The more they trust you, the more they trust you with them. Right? The more you're able to retain. Because it's not about getting people in the chair, it's about retaining
the ones you got.
Yes. Don't be so big, don't be so in a rush to gain so many people. Get you a solid core and spoil them rotten. Learn them.
Okay.
For sure.
I like that one.
And then for social media.
That's going to be a clip too, by the way.
For social media, figure out your own mojo.
Yeah.
It's a lot of coaches, it's a lot of, you know, it's a lot of fluff out here, right? But figure out what makes your audience tick.
Yeah.
Because just because we might both do marketing, you may do it differently than I do.
Right.
And I can learn something from you, and I can learn something from the next person.
Yeah.
And then I can put my own little spin on it, and that's my original stuff.
Right.
You know, so figure out your own mojo. Like, literally take the time. Don't go based off someone else's formula. Create your own.
And the only way you do that is just by starting.
For sure.
Start, and then you try to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And just focus on the things that work.
Certainly.
Yeah. Too many people just afraid to start because they don't know where to start at. But
I would say I'm guilty of that.
Really?
I've been guilty of that, definitely.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, just start. Just do it.
Yeah.
You know, like just put something out there.
Yeah. Like I said, you're going to figure out what works.
It's never going to be anything bad.
Yeah.
You're either going to learn something or you don't.
Right. More times than not, you're going to learn something.
For sure. All the time you're going to learn something. It's just how you perceive it.
True. Okay. This has been a great conversation, man.
Thank you.
I definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate you coming by and having this conversation about your life and everything that you've been doing for the last 30-something years. All right, so where can people find you at?
I am on Instagram at ADI by Nicole J. I'm also on Facebook as ADI by Nicole J. I'm working on a YouTube channel.
You definitely should do that.
I'm working on a YouTube channel. And other than that, I'm very, cold pressed and
cold pressed out in Northview.
No, I don't be in Northview anymore. I be at work.
Oh, okay.
Right? But I be around.
Okay.
I'm still very, very low key, but I be around.
But high key at the same time.
Yeah.
Low key, but high key.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming by again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. If you guys haven't done so already, please make sure you follow Nikki and all the great things she got coming up and all the things that she does and just all the wild posts that she makes. You're going to be thoroughly entertained.
Right.
And if you haven't done so already, please make sure you follow me. I'm trying to actually get to 10,000 followers very soon. Yeah.
Get them.
Not for me, but I'm trying to help as many people as I can.
For sure. That's really what it's about.
Yeah, that's all that it's about for me. So yeah, please make sure you do that. Please make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can see more of these videos, more of these conversations, and just kind of learn more from other people who are doing the work that, is needed out here. So that's pretty much all I got. So you guys stay safe, stay Rona free, but keep creating, keep shooting, and you guys have a good one.